Here we are again on Spice Vader. Today I'm going to be doing a Windows test for gaming on the Steam Deck's built-in Ryzen APU. So we've got this set up. Again, this is familiar here to some people that have seen this. I've got the Anchor USB-C dock, all kinds of junk hooked up here, but in the back I have my 2 terabyte game drive here, and then my boot SSD is on this drive here. And these are both hooked up to the dock. I've got a little extra juice with this Amazon Basics USB dock because the 2 terabyte game drive needs a little bit more. But anyway, it's all working. Over here I have my 4K monitor hooked up, and I'm going to be actually gaming on this, but I'll be pointing it at the Steam Deck screen here so that you can see what it looks like. Okay, let's dig into it here. So just on the screen I'm showing the AMD custom GPU that it has in here in GPU-Z. Just doing a little render test. Show you that we've got PCIe X16 3.0. This is typically how the AMD onboard graphics are. So to get the 4.0 stuff, you'll either need 11th gen Intel or an AMD chip that doesn't have built-in graphics on it. I know that you can get a 3600 or something, and that'll have it, and anything from the 5000 series that doesn't have an APU will have 4.0 support. But just showing here with the render test, we're at 1600 megahertz. I didn't do any overclocking or overwatting or any of that stuff. I don't know how to do that on here, so I'm just going to show it straight up. And then over here I've got the C drive, which is that 256 gig, and my 2 terabyte game drive is over here on the D drive. One thing that I was asked was, can this mine Ethereum on the built-in graphics? So let's test it out. I'll fire it up here. It doesn't detect any devices. So I was going to try KawPow, which is the RVN Coin miner that I have as well, and I'm going to see if that works. Okay, so I've got the KawPowMiner. Let's start it up here. Instantly get an error. So there might be a way to make this mine, but I'm not aware of it, and it doesn't look like you can actually mine on this integrated GPU, unfortunately. The video I showed with the RX 6600 attached, that's kind of going to be the only way that you're going to be able to do this. Okay, here we are in Doom Eternal. This is Windows mode, so I could turn things off like VSync, and we should be able to get over 60 FPS in some spots at this resolution. Now I'm going to try it with ray tracing on, as you see here, but we've also got the settings. Now this is still set to Ultra from the last time we ran it. I think that might be about as much as we could do, but let's test it out and see how it goes. I don't know if you could hear it, but that fan on the Steam Deck is singing away here. Yeah, about 30 FPS. This is with ray tracing on. It looks like it's still 50% resolution scale from last time, so let's adjust that. Let's set that to off and see how that goes. Well, that's not too bad on the screen. That doesn't look too bad. But that frame rate is definitely not good. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Let's see if we can adjust those settings a little more. Let's turn ray tracing off. Oh boy, instant improvement. So ray tracing on, not the greatest idea. Well, without resolution scaled on though, 48 FPS, 50. That's at 1280 by 800. All right, let's keep it there, and we'll turn on dynamic resolution scaling. Still at ultra settings. I'm not tweaking any presets here. Okay, so it looks like it brought it to 50% resolution scale, which isn't too bad. It's blurry, though. But it looks like it's hitting 60 more often. Yeah, you can see on the character models there. It's not super great. Yeah, so if you're playing this on the deck directly with some resolution scaling set on, and you can get about 60 FPS pretty smooth. I mean, it's, you know, responsive. I'm using my favorite Xbox 360 controller again. Oh, my overlay decided to work. At least we'll get the FPS and frame time on there. So let's fire it up and see if it'll play. Now, these tests are by no means any measure of how good the disk throughput speed is of the M.2 slot on it. This is running over USB-C with a hub full of a lot of USB devices hooked up to it, so this is merely just a test of the graphics performance on the Steam Deck running Windows. So take the loading times here with a grain of salt. It's not really real, and it might even be the cause of some of the hitches that we'll probably see during gameplay. There we go, finally loaded in here. We're getting a whole 14 FPS. I have a feeling we're still set to a really high resolution, so let's get back into the game and find out. Oh yeah. 15 FPS, 10? That's not good. Wow, that's interesting. The game is actually trying to make it playable, though. The input lag isn't that bad. That's funny. Anyway, let's tweak settings. Let's see, VSync off. Frame rate unlocked. Okay. So we're doing about 45, 50 FPS pretty steadily. Uncapped frame rate. I mean, on a handheld, this ain't bad. 1280 by 800. And let's check out the graphics settings. I forgot to bring those up here. High. We're at high settings. And that's the preset from last time. So you remember with the RX 6600, we were doing 4K and able to pull over 60 FPS. This time, not quite able to do that at 1280 by 800, but hey, this is a handheld. Still pretty awesome. Let's see if there's any dynamic resolution scaling stuff it'll do. See if we can get it over 60 FPS. Let's try this ultra quality. I don't know what that does. Give it a second for all the textures to smooth out. Boom! Nice. And it's not too bad at the ultra settings. Pretty close. Little dips here and there. Again, could just be my SSD setup. I didn't switch it from when I did the eGPU video. It's the same setup, just without the eGPU now. Also, the back is on the Steam Deck now, and it's all put back together. So this is cooling the way that it's intended by Valve. You can see the FPS and the GPU usage up in the top. We're pegging it out. It's hitting 98, 99%. So this is using a lot. Let's see if we can get 60 FPS and reduce the load a little bit. Let's try the medium preset. And we are at the medium preset now. So let's see how this looks. Yeah. Okay. Still struggles a little bit, even at medium. It's very difficult for the Steam Deck to hit these AAA titles at 60 FPS. You can see some videos from the Fox. He showed off some modification that you could do in Windows to do 40 hertz on these displays, and then everything is smooth because it's not trying to V-sync in a weird spot, and it's a lot better. Now we're hitting 70, but now then we dip. And that could be the M.2. Could be my M.2 setup. So let's give this a little run and see how it does. That's not too bad. We're hitting over 70 pretty consistently. Yeah, not terrible. Now at medium, things are looking pretty grainy, blocky, and very aliased, but that's on my bigger screen. Now, if I look at the Steam Deck screen, that don't look half bad. So there you have it. Forza Horizon 5, native on Windows, not too bad with some settings tweaks. Let's jump into another game. Okay, so kind of just running through the same games I did last time. We got Halo Infinite now. And we'll have to do some settings adjustment. Let's go back into campaign. Okay, we've loaded in. And I still don't have my overlay working. Let me see if I can get that working. Okay, we got the overlay back. So I jumped into the settings right away here. We've got the borderless full screen, but we want to just do 100% for the most accurate. I don't know why it won't lock right to the whatever. But here we go. Okay, so we've got 46 FPS, 45. Not too bad. I'm going keyboard and mouse now. Okay. Oh, little drop there. I don't know the controls in this game, so I'm sure that would help. Let's see if we can pull 60 FPS with some settings tweaks. Right now, we are at the same graphics settings as before, medium preset. Oh, it'll only go down to 94%. I don't know what that's about, but maybe that's like their minimum for a game looking good, in their opinion. Yeah, it didn't really change it much. It looks like it's about the same. Anyway, yeah. So, about 60 FPS. I don't know if I'd really want to go down any lower here, but it looks like it ranges from like 30, yeah, 35 up to 60, anywhere in there. Again, not bad on this screen, and even on the 4K monitor, this looks pretty good up here. So, down on the actual Steam Deck display, you know, that looks not too bad either. Okay, so we have Shadow the Tomb Raider now. Let's pop in and check the graphics settings. Got the 1280 by 800. Let's see. Yep, Fidelity FX Cast. Graphics at medium. That should be pretty good. Let's do the same thing as before and just test some game out. It's up, looks like. Yeah, not bad at 50. 53. Now this game looks pretty good at 30 FPS. Very cinematic style, that action-adventure kind of game. So you could probably lock this at these settings, and even on the bigger screen here that I'm looking at, this looks fine. This looks really good. Yeah, 46 FPS, 39. Not too bad. Let's check out some settings. Oh, we'd have to go down to low. That's quite a jump. But you know what? We gotta do it. We gotta try. It seems a little smoother. We'll let these textures load in. You know what? Still doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it's a little smoother, and really, on the smaller screen, you don't lose too much fidelity. So this is not a bad option. I'd rock this. Once you get over 50 FPS, it seems like things improve in the smoothness department, I should say. Yeah, I'd play this. Okay, cool. Now, I like this game. This is Just Cause 4. I really like the gameplay. I played all of the Just Cause games. So when I was excited when 4 came out, and then I was really disappointed with how horribly unoptimized this game is, but it's a good test for your graphics systems to see how well they can handle something that has no scaling options, no DLSS, no FSR support, and just kind of runs straight up native off your system. It's a good looking game, sort of, at 4K. At 1280 by 800, maybe not so much, but yeah, let's see what kind of frame rates we get here. Eh, 30-ish FPS, and let's just check our settings. It doesn't have a lot of settings in this game, so we're at the 1280 by 800. VSync is on, so let's turn that off. Anti-aliasing is off. Texture quality high. Let's bring that to medium. No SSAO. We can, yeah, that's off. Okay. Oh, we gotta restart for the texture quality. Okay, we're back in. We've set everything to kind of medium settings, and yeah, it didn't really improve the frame rate much. It's still about the same, 30-ish, 40-ish FPS. But on the small screen, doesn't look too bad. Again, this is one of those games where if it's rendered natively, you probably would want to lock it to 40 Hz if you were given that option. So definitely want to support Valve in giving us those options in Steam OS rather than it just being a Windows thing. So again, like I mentioned before, check out the Fox's video. He has some information on doing kind of an ETH hack, and it lets you basically set the refresh rate of the screen to some non-standard settings like 40, 48 hertz, 35 hertz, I think. But yeah, 40 would look pretty good on this game. Be still pretty responsive. Yeah, this looks a lot better on the Steam Deck screen than it does on my 4K monitor, just because of how stretched out the pixels are on here. But if I was playing this on the gamepad, yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. I'd play it. Oh yeah, that's some bad texture pop in there. Alright, so that's that game. Check out maybe one more game. And here's one game I couldn't get to work on the Steam Deck. Epic Games Launcher wouldn't allow me to get this working in Proton. So this is about as far as I could get as the intro video. And then as soon as I would click on it to start, that was it. It just went black. But now in Windows, we're actually able to get the game to load. So that's kind of cool. So let's see how this goes. Yeah, it looks like it did. Okay, so about 60 FPS. I had a feeling this game could run on here pretty well. Yeah, it's not bad. We might even be able to go up in the settings a little bit. Let's see. Not that we really need to. Let's see. Uncapped FPS. HDR is off. Yeah, I can't set that. Custom. Let's try maximum and see what that does. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, it went back to 60. Took it a second, but it did. Could almost run this at maximum. That's not bad. So there you go. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. A little quick test here. This is just the Steam Deck running its native APU in Windows. If they ever figure out those sound drivers, that'd be great, and not have to run audio through HDMI to get audio working. Would be super cool. Well, thank you for hanging out with me to take a look at some of the gaming on the Steam Deck natively in Windows using that APU, the Ryzen APU built into the Steam Deck. It works pretty well, but as you can see, it's not quite as refined as the Steam OS version. I haven't reviewed the Steam OS version yet on my channel here, but I will be. And you'll find that the performance is a little bit better in Steam OS than it is in Windows right now, because Valve is currently working on optimizing that instead of optimizing the Windows stuff. At this point, we're just kind of hoping that they'll round out the driver packages that are going to install in Windows so we could get more features like the audio driver so that the built-in speakers will work. I haven't gotten Bluetooth to work. Wi-Fi does work for me, but There's just some little stuff like that. But right now, Windows gaming, it's not terrible. For me, it really would only be useful using an eGPU, but that's not practical using it in that way. So I would just suggest staying with the SteamOS version, but I will have a video on that and some of the games I've been playing, and I've got emulators, so hopefully I could show some of that without being taken down. But I do have some gameplay of that and just kind of the general setup that I have going in there. Going to be a little bit of a longer one even than this video. But yeah, just give me your thoughts and leave a comment and like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and just let me know what you think and if there's anything else you want me to test. And yeah, we'll just go from there. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, and God bless. Have a good day.